After the end of Group C in 1993, the need for a new set of regulations for endurance racing emerged. The BPR Global GT series was introduced in 1994, where mostly private entries fought for victories in sports cars derived from their series production counterparts. In 1995, the first works teams like Ferrari, Jaguar and McLaren joined, and in 1997, the series officially became the FIA GT Championship. So in this episode we built our own homologation special version of the Nuvia, meeting the minimum production number of 25 examples for the GT1 class and prepare it for the races. But first a bit of clarification. I received several comments that the name of our new car, the Cisalpina, is not proper Italian, but I never intended the name to be a proper Italian word and probably should have spent 2 more sentences on explaining how I chose the name. It was intended to be a fictionalized word, which just sounds better for me as a non-native speaker if it ends in A. It is probably too close to proper Italian language. So yeah, I do understand that it is hard to accept for the Italians here, but I will still keep the name Cisalpina, no matter if it is right or not. Take it as my revenge for all the butchered German car names I had to read over the past 10 or so years. Anyway, I did make a proper mistake last time indeed. I signed the Cisalpina off, which I shouldn't have done yet, because we need a more spicy engine variant for our Nuvia GT1, based on the same V12 engine family. So I reverted 1 month back to before we sign off, also making sure to fix the too soft suspension for the Cisalpina, and will do the engine for the homologation special now. This is just because of the game mechanics. Ideally I would have just started the GT1 project in 1994, when the GT series started with private entries and the path endurance racing would take became clear. I'll do so with the car, but the engine needs to be done right now, so that the Cisalpina can start to be engineered. So I'll still start with a facelift to the Nuvia itself, just to also see how the emissions would do, but I will delete the facelift of the car afterwards, once we have the engine done. Actually we do have a pretty good racing engine version already. So we could either use the Group C engine now and downtune it to be the spicy Cinghiale version, let's say, for the Nuvia, and then further tune that one for the race car. Or we use our current road going version, this one, with 500 horsepower, spice it up to be the Cinghiale, and then further spice it up for the race. I think I will start with the Group C engine and see where it takes us. Again, we have issues here with the block. The engine block again was aluminium light, not the best choice. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. We can rev to 8.9. And for the road going version, I want to have it around 600-650 horsepower. So we can reduce the boost a little bit. We will keep it as the twin cam, but we will go for throttle per cylinder. And we get so much power from it that we can further decrease the boost. Yeah, we should add the catalytic converter first. Emissions are still a huge problem. We need to take a few things into account. For example, we are not allowed to use VVT. We are also not allowed to have variable length intakes, which is okay. And 100 RON is also the max we can do. Let's go for 98 for the road going version and use 100 for the race car. We can do a little bit of emissions optimization, of course. We will just build 25 of it, so it's not that big of a problem if it doesn't meet all the emissions regulations. But yeah, at least we should get it up to WES 8. WES 9 is not the main focus. It will be off the market before we get WES 9. But yeah, this is properly challenging. It's just too powerful. We run it at basically nothing, touching the gas pedal. And for a road going version, probably also use the performance intake only. The emissions optimization doesn't do a lot because it's just increasing the area here, and we're there at 50% throttle max, so it doesn't really help. Yeah, at least make WES 7, that would be good. And with this we would make it 640 horsepower. I think this engine is good then. And the race version of course doesn't need to meet any emissions requirements, but it still requires a catalytic converter. We can go to race again. Ultimate. And we just crank it up a little bit more on the boost side to 700. The crank is suffering now, so should leave it there. Yeah, can use a more heavy crank. The engine internals are free, just bring it to 700 exactly. There we go. And then we have this engine done as well. Then we delete the car facelift, head into our engine projects, and now we have the problem that it is quite expensive and takes a lot of time. So we really have to put in money to get it done in 4 years. That would be entering GT1 in 1996 when it really took off. Previously it was mostly private entries. In 1995 first factory entries came in, so 1996 is a good year. Won't learn as much, but yeah, 4 years is good. Engine factory is overworked, but I don't really believe it. Also we can take the Jingale and the GT1 to another factory. For example this one. They can be expensive as hell. We just built 25 of those. Okay, there we go. Again 80% of loan as we did last time and 60 months. Let's extend it so that we pay 2 million a month and sign off the engine. Now for real. Okay, and now I said we start with the GT project in 1994. This is when it was clear what would be happening to endurance racing, and this is when we start really thinking about the cars. As I said, the engines had to be done now because we need to get the Cisalpina onto the road. So nothing we can do there. So let's just manage the time until then. Lots of profits right now. Yeah, the profits are getting out of hand now that we are earning the proper money from the Saeta. So earnings were pretty low because we just built the pre-ordered cars where we already got 30% of the money in advance. Now we really get the full money and things are looking a lot better, even though we are still struggling to work on fulfilling our pre-orders. So let's crank up production if we can. Yeah, we can. Let's put it to 1.5 shifts and we should do something with that money. Currently our loan repayment also is just 6 million a month. Yeah, mostly for the Saeta, which has a huge loan there still to be paid off. But yeah, we need to do something with it, and what we didn't do for a very long time is marketing. So let's revisit that. We probably don't spend a lot of money there. We see how much do I want to spend overall. We're currently at 2.28 million. We can maybe bring that to 4 million. Where do we sell first? Of course, Fruinia is looking really nice. Hedvisia we also sell. They have a light sports market now. Gasmia, okay, could probably be more. A lot of cars are going to Dalua. They have the money. Really good. We definitely have to make sure that we're doing something here. We're even selling utility cars. And then that's Ahana. Also there the rich 1000 people in the country are liking our cars. But still we have really low market penetration. It's better in Dalua than in Fruinia. Because we're just very expensive, I guess. I'd like to have a little bit more from the overall cake, and I think Dalua is the most important market, so let's pour some money into that one as well. I like the new marketing system after the update a lot more than what we have here, but we have to live with what we have. This is really expensive here in Gasmia. So expensive that I probably don't do it. At least not for reputation. Okay, this should increase our budget to more than 4 million. And we'll spend a little bit more. Up to, so let's go with R&D costs up to 5 million. I want to have a little bit more on the chassis department side. And normally we are struggling a little bit on the bottom end that it holds up. So let's spend more there. Wheels might be pretty expensive, so putting more into there is not that bad as well. And also let's use interior because that's just such an expensive thing. And I go for the one-click in safety as well, just because it takes so much time all the time. Okay. Then we spend all of our money now and can continue. Still making a healthy profit while ramping up our sales here for the Seata. Because the pre-order delay is reduced as we sell them off. No more pre-orders for the Spider, and we work on the Berlinetta now. And we sold our first Cisalpina. So by now I should also go into the factory again for the Seata and optimize. Let's go down to 1.2 shifts probably, minimum, and max at 1.5. And we are there in 1994. Yeah, the Cuneo is still failing emission standards, but it's just still there. It will take forever to sell off the rest here. Freccia. Oh. We have quite some pre-orders for the Freccia. Yeah, we don't want that, and it should be gone by now. There's still some factory that still holds the Freccia. So let's clean that one up. Ah yeah, it will be cleaned once the Cinquanta hits the market. The Cinquanta also is starting to sell now. Okay, it's 1994. Let's head into the Nuvia and let's create the facelift. What I of course didn't do is to update the engine for emissions for the normal road-going versions. But it's the way it is. If we have troubles, we can do that later after the GT1 project is on the road to do another quick facelift until 1998. So it's not a problem. Just a quick facelift to the road-going versions. Emissions-wise, we are still with 8, that's good. So I won't do a lot here. Give it a 6th gear. I'll keep it on the sports tires. Entertainment upgrade package, of course. I won't update the traction aids because I have the feeling this might get out of hand and we want to be quick. Yeah, but I also wanted to do something here. Somebody mentioned that we have problems here opening the windows because of the shape, and it's true. So let's do something here. Yeah, I think like this it's much better. And this can now nicely slide down there. So Berlinetta is done. Same for the Spider. Here we don't have the problem, of course. So that's looking all right. Yeah, then let's go through there here. 6 gears. More speed. Emissions with 8 is alright. Nothing here. Interior upgrade. And let's leave the rest. And then let's copy the Berlinetta for our road going version. Let's call it the GT Homologation. Let's paint it black. First and foremost, we can do modifications to the race car that are not yet on the road going car. But I would like the homologation car to look like the final race car, and the final race car will only have very minor modifications to it. Basically what we can do is we can modify anything below the center line of the front wheels. So basically anything below the black line here and almost below the black line here as well. So let's just use that as our guidance. We can replace the wing on the race car in the end, but I will already start replacing it here. It's just that we only may have one active aerodynamic surface on the rear, so we have to remove the wing that we have and put another one on there. But first of all, let's choose our existing engine. This one, 640 horsepower. And then let's remove our rear wing, or maybe not remove it, but maybe we build a new one from this. It may not protrude over the body, so let's check. I think this is fine. We may also have a hood scoop or an engine air intake there. That's also allowed. Okay, so then let's modify the front bumper a little bit. And also I would like to have something resembling a bigger splitter, which means we have to do some body molding because we cannot exceed the boundaries of the original body. So which means we have to mold the bumper in, and also for flaps at the side we have to get room there by molding it. You'll see what I mean when I'm done. There we are. And now now the venting will be more difficult, of course. This somewhat works. Okay, and then some flaps there. Yeah, we may not leave the boundaries of our body there. Just the tiniest bit of a flap there. Yeah, well, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Let's leave it away. And then in the rear, we are allowed to have a diffuser, and I will replace what we have right now. And it's just a simple box that we are allowed to have. So with a flat upper side, 15 centimeters high, and it may only start at the center of the rear wheels. So that's important. That's roughly right. Exhaust we will redo. Just have a single one on both sides, larger of course, and a cutout there. Yeah, the exhaust is a bit in the way here, so I'd say we move it up here, and we need a bit more venting in the back. We'll do that with our lovely sausage vents. Okay, and then finalize the rear wing. It's a bit over the top, but yeah, it's GT1, so I guess it's okay. Originally you could also extend the body width by 5 centimeters, but I couldn't find any good solution. Which didn't look totally crappy, and I think also the F40 GT was not extended. And then we need different rims with a central lock. Alright, that's roughly what I had in mind. Certainly a lot more mean. And yeah, the race version will get proper roll cage and will be cleared out there in the interior a bit. But this one should be still be drivable, but we'll put it on semi-slicks. People don't like it. Why is that? So far it's scoring 90 in hyper, and with these it's going 57. Yeah, it's quite a bit more expensive, of course. So I keep it At least you have to sell this one 25 times. I'll keep it where it is. Interior, I'll keep it on sport. And the luxury CD. These can all be removed in a race car, but the sport under tray, of course. Car is bottoming out. Oh yeah, quite a bit. Too much downforce in the rear. That was probably the problem. So the road going car will get a tune that's still bearable. But for the first time we will get... Oh no, sequential is so bad. Just 3 gears. I would like to have given it sequential, but we are not there yet. And now we can give it semi-slicks. Question is just, will this sell or not? It will probably be pretty bad. Yeah, you need to keep it in sport. It needs to be road going. It needs to also drive in the wet. Oh yeah, traction control, so important. Doesn't have any traction. We'll see if we can do it. So that would be the Cinghiale GTO done. I'm just checking now. We can get it done within 2 years. That's not a problem. Still, it's possible. We add one more trim for the racing car, but then we're done. Okay, so let's continue with the racing car. So I just copied the homologation car, and yeah, first of all, let's give it a different color. So the exterior is mostly done. I will add sponsor decals later. And a bit of a basic livery. First I want to focus on the interior, which has to be more racy. Alright, that should be it. Think I followed all of the regulations, mostly regarding the floor and what I can modify. I'm not the most talented livery designer, but I think it's good enough. Just need to fix a few colors here, and then we're ready to go. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Of course we need to fix the tires in the sandbox later to make them proper slicks. For now let's just go through the engineering. Definitely I'll put this one on the semi-slicks at least here. The maximum wheel width is 355, and unfortunately I cannot choose wider wheels. So just for the looks of it, I might need to do something here in the advanced trim settings. So at least make the rears a little bit wider. Ah, I already did that. Okay. So 50 millimeters more. For the fronts we'll just give it a little bit more. Currently they are too skinny. Yeah, just use the 285s that we can actually put on there. Or we can actually use more if we use a higher tire diameter. Okay, 305s all around. Let's see how that goes, how drivable that is. The semi-slicks will cost us a little bit of engineering time. That might be an issue. So I reduced the quality here in this case. Brake-wise, I won't have anti-lock brakes on this. So I need to make sure that I can actually control it. So I turn down the rear force a little bit, so it rather locks up in the front than in the rear. Aerodynamics wise, in this case, just give it more. And I need to make sure that this time I have actually springs that can work with that. Bit wider gearing. First gear can be longer for the race version, of course. No active aerodynamics, that's a rule. Interior, of course, only one seat, and here nothing in there. Minimum weight is 950 kilos, I think, with the option to, for balance of performance to kick in. Yeah, I cannot get down there, and I think almost nobody did. You'd have to have a very small car, not such a big engine. So no traction aids, that's very important. Safety-wise, yeah, let's keep it at standard 80s that we had. It's super safe anyway because of the carbon fiber monocoque. And yeah, for the springs, let's take progressive and make them properly hard this time because we have some downforce. I still want to run lots of toe in the rear at least, and maybe in the front even toe out a bit. We'll see if that's too nervous or not. Normally I like to run soft dampers in other games. Don't know what it does here. Currently it's oversteering. Even here. We won't sell any of those GT1 cars anyway, so it's just a race car. Okay, how is this one called? This is the GT1 Competizione. And there we go. And with that, we're basically done. Time to engineer it, and time to get it onto the road. As I said, 2 years would be nice. We need to work a bit harder to reach that goal. Yeah, 2 years is probably a bit ambitious. Need to throw money at it. Let's say 2 years and 2 months, then we're ready in March. I think that should be good enough. Both for the racing shed and the new shed for our GT production cars. Let's see what's in there. So here we take just the Bellinetta and the Spider. And for the racing shed, we'll use the homologation car and the other one. And we'll stop the GT1 production after 1 batch. And then for the pricing, we are doing pretty good here. 80k, 90k seems to be pretty good. Might even go a little higher. 90k, 100k, not a million. Yeah, that's the limit. And for the GTO, we'll take a little bit more. I think it will be sold. Okay, so we're basically done. What is the overall cost of this project? 66 million, but I will only do that once I have tried it out in BeamNG. I need to make sure that everything is set up correctly. Let me do that quickly. See you then on the racetrack. Alright, there we are. As you might see, I already tried a bit. I'm a bit out of practice recording because I didn't record my first try. But yeah, the car exported quite nicely. Maybe I won't crash as much now, as I have a little bit of practice already. Yeah, it sounds a bit like a tractor. But yeah, it's super difficult to drive as always. Just not good at building controllable cars, I guess. So let's see how it goes. It's super twitchy. Almost braked in time there. First gear is uncontrollable. But I thought I needed to push out of the hairpin, as I was very wide there and very slow. But yeah, through the worst bit already and onto the straight. 270 already, keeping it pinned. And Bavarian Bend. Oh, a bit too quick, a bit too quick. But no crash. Quite some understeer. Oh, what a line. Ouch. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. Pretty decent. And there we go. Half of it is done. Very cautious, but decent. Oh, upshifting would be good at some point. Oh, that was scrubbed the inside there. Car is okay. And 2 more corners to go. And throw it away now. Pretty decent lap, I guess. Except for a chicane. And there we go. Pretty good time. Yes, 1:53.8. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, that's it for now. Next time we'll sign it off and work on more new things. I'm pretty much out of the campaign for now, so I need to think my way into it, what we need to do next. So I recorded this driving bit now 4 months after the last time I went into campaign. 5 months? I don't know. Yeah, very sorry for the delays, but we are back now and we'll get through this campaign at some point. Promised. Thank you all very much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.